Can you hear me now, Jenny?
I can. We just started recording, so I think, can you talk again?
Is that volume all right?
Yeah, that's good. I can see people are loading in. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our masterclass. I see there's 23 people. It's climbing, it's jumping. So we're going to wait just a couple more minutes for everybody to load in. Grab a little, mocktail or a cup of tea or whatever you like, a glass of wine, a glass of collagen. I've got mine too that I made. And we're going to start in just a minute. Mukti's joining us from Byron Bay, Australia, from your home. Thank you so much. It's Friday over there in summer. It's summer in Australia, end of summer.
End of summer, yes, about to go into autumn, but that doesn't mean that it's cold by any means. I think it's 27 degrees and very humid right now.
Yeah, 27 Celsius, which...
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. It's hot.
Yeah. So as you're joining us, if you feel up to it, if you want to just put in the chat box where you're joining us from and what you hope to get out of this class, we'd love to just see it. I'm Jeannie Jarneau. I'm the founder of Beauty Heroes, and I am excited to be hosting. I'm really going to turn this over to Mukti. She's such an incredible wealth of knowledge when it comes to skincare. Last year when we launched Mukti, I got her book. I ordered it. It came from Australia, and it's called Truth and Beauty. And I don't even know if you can still get it in the States. It is the best book on skincare I've ever read. And I really, I emailed you right after this. I was like, how'd you write this book? It's really, really, really good. So I don't know, you need to like re-release it or something. I see. So it's just chock full of real information and the kind of information that that's useful as a consumer, and even as someone like me who's really been sort of knee deep in ingredients for the last 20 years. It's just a really good kind of Bible on skincare. So I reference it all the time. And so I'm gonna turn this over to her. If you're tuning in, you probably saw we are talking about skin that is going through hormonal flux, whether it be perimenopause, menopause, an endocrine disorder. I suffered from PCOS. If you've just got super reactive skin, a damaged skin barrier, this class will talk about sort of why Mukti's approach to creating her new collection, which we're going to go into. But I think, Mukti really created this line for herself as she started to experience changes in her own skin, and you couldn't use your own product line, right, Mukti?
Yeah, my skin was so reactive. I couldn't use any of the actives, so I couldn't use any of the vitamins or peptides, and I started to get what is classified as hormonal rosacea. So you get those little fine pustules, little white with little white pimples on them. I've actually got a little breakout happening because I used a little bit of an active. I used a little bit of vitamin C, and so the skin gets a little bit intolerant, and there's dermal impairment. So I couldn't use anything without my skin reacting. So that was the impetus to create the Calming collection, which is what we've just launched and released in the last week or so. And it's made up of 3 products. So it's a calming cleansing balm. There's a rescue and recover serum, which has adaptogens in it as well, which help with that hormonal imbalance. And there's a beautiful calming moisturizer, and they're fragrance free. One of the things that hormonal skin or sensitive skin reacts to is fragrances and also preservatives. So I wanted to minimize both of those in the formulation. And so the scent of them is just from the raw ingredients in the product. And the other thing that your skin needs as you age is emollient. So everything changes, the microbiome of the skin changes. There's trillions of bacteria in our face, and then when we start to age, and then when we start to over exfoliate, or we're overzealous with our skincare routines, our skin can become very reactive, and then we can also suffer from dermal impairment and have some issues with our barrier. So this is a range that's good for soothing and calming the skin, and just really taking everything back to basics and paring it right back.
Yeah, and you say that there are 3 products in the line, but I really feel like there's 4, because I feel like the Bioactive Collagen Booster is such an essential part of the collection. So,
Yes.
and that's what you're drinking. I made some here, and we're going to include that. We're going to talk a bit about collagen today through the class, but I feel like, it's got the light pink label on it, and I feel like it really it's such an important part of this conversation. So let's start at the beginning, and let's talk about perimenopause and menopause and what is actually going on and why that starts changing our skin.
Yeah, so as we age, our skin does go through changes. Our collagen and elastin actually degrades as we get older as well. So you need to start feeding and nurturing the skin with actives, or with, from within really, and any damage that we've had prior to in our younger lives, or anything that we're eating that could be having an impact on our skin will start to show. So around 40 years of age, your collagen stops producing at that same level. And so the reason why I created the collagen booster was to support the skin and skin aging. And as we go through this cycle in menopause and perimenopause, our estrogen levels start to decline, the oil production lessens, your skin becomes drier, becomes thinner as well. And so we need to boost that from within. And the only way to replenish collagen, or the best way to replenish it, is from a marine source. That's the peptides that have had the most studies done, and that dates back over the last 10 or 15 years. So they're hydrolyzed collagen peptides that are found in the collagen booster, and then there's other skin supporting ingredients in there, such as resveratrol and your hyaluronic acid, all those things that start to break down as we start to age. And it's also got other skin supporting ingredients like your aloe vera, which is very soothing and calming. It's got a prebiotic in there, which helps with proliferating the good bacteria in your gut. And just taking this conversation back to skincare, applying things topically, you're only going to get good results as far as it really comes back to your nutrition and your diet. And so your skin will reflect what's going on internally, with stress. And I think in the past year, a lot of us have had additional stresses with what's been happening globally. And it's really good to fortify that and really look at health as an overall, as a priority, because that's one thing that we do have in our control is our health. And so, having supplements this has also got your daily vitamin C in there as well, which comes from the berries. And then, we lose about 2% of collagen from menopause onwards, which every year. So the only way to replenish it is through an external source, and to take it internally. So
Mukti, collagen slows, like our collagen production starts slowing down at 40. So I just kind of started working collagen into my routine. I'm 47, almost 48. So I should have started 7 or 8 years ago. Right?
Well, it's never too late, but you want to replenish those lost collagen. So the only way to do that is by having a supplement. Yes. And you'll see that there's so many collagen supplements on the market. I didn't want to just make a collagen and add a little bit of flavor to it. I wanted to add all those other skin supporting ingredients. So it's got as I said before, it's got the Jerusalem artichoke, it's got astaxanthin, which helps protect the skin from UV rays. It has resveratrol, which most people know is a really good antioxidant for the skin. And then it's got your wild berries in there as well, which have all got really high auric profiles. That means they're very high in antioxidants and really high in vitamin C. So it's basically a skin food. So you take that internally and then you can use your products in conjunction with that, and it'll definitely help balance the skin out, and it'll definitely help replenish any lost stores of collagen. So it's almost a must as you start to age.
And this supplement, I guess you said it's never too late, but is it ever too early? Like, can you start taking collagen in your 30s?
Absolutely.
And it's good for men as well, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't discriminate. It's good for everyone. Yes, you can start taking it at any age, really. 25 onwards. 25 is when the skin starts to age. That's when everything starts to slow down, which is a little bit depressing. And then it continues to gradually decline throughout our lives. So anything that we can do to bolster that or to mitigate the aging process is usually a positive thing, especially when, we were talking, Jeannie, about before, so much of we're very visual, and everything that we do is very visual, and we make judgments or assertions based on a visual interpretation of someone, and we usually sum them up in a few seconds. So I think I think aging it's challenging. It's something that, especially the physical part of it, but I think, again, if we bring it back to health and maintaining good health and maintaining exercising and doing a bit of cardio and also strengthening your muscles as well, all of those things can help us. It's what we do in those earlier years of life that create the foundations and the building blocks to aging gracefully and aging well. And I think there's few little things that you can just incorporate in your daily life that are really, they don't cost anything. And breathing is definitely a simple technique. Using something that I've incorporated recently is nose breathing, and I even actually take my mouth up at night now to make sure that I do only use my nose to breathe with, and also when I'm doing exercise as well. So I think Wim Hof's been a really good advocate for bringing breathing into our awareness and that helping calm the nervous system as well. So there's all these little hacks that you can do that don't cost you any money that can add to that longevity. And I think that's what we've got to look at. It's not just about the physical, and it's about the whole picture. Yeah,
absolutely. So why did your skin start reacting to the actives as why did it change so dramatically? Like, you were using you had your favorite products that you would incorporate, and you had to basically stop. Why was that?
Yeah, I do put it down to the hormonal change primarily, but I had also had a fairly invasive treatment, which was like it was a laser treatment or a limelight facial, which basically took back that whole top layer of skin, which was, I did it for skin damage and pigmentation and some I had sort of age spots, and I just wanted to clean my face up, and there was also, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any skin cancers there as well. So it helps to treat any pre-existing, not cancerous, but pre-existing melasma and skin cells that are damaged. And then after I did that, it was quite an invasive treatment, and it took at least 3 or 4 weeks to recover. So it was a peeling, shedding process. And then after that, I really think that my skin became a little bit intolerant, and then I had that dermal impairment, and that dermal barrier degrade. It precipitated that, and it sort of fast forwarded that whole process. So I think it's really important be over invasive and not to over exfoliate or use too many intense ingredients on the face. You know, we all want results, but it's got to be a gradual process. It's like using retinoids. You know, you've got to be very, whilst they can have a wonderful effect on the skin and are touted to be one of the age-defying ingredients, it's also something that needs to be introduced and used gradually and slowly, so that your skin can develop a tolerance to it as well. So yes, what happened for me was I just couldn't use anything, and I wanted to go back to really soothing, calming ingredients that had phytonutrients and emollient properties and ceramides, and just really went back to basics. And I think that's something that we all tend to do, is we sometimes use too many products and we want results and we want them now. And because there's so many products out there and there's always a new thing to try, I think as you age, it's better just to introduce things slowly and to introduce them one at a time and just see how your skin responds and reacts. So for me, I actually couldn't use anything at all other than in the range, the hydrating cleansing lotion. I could still use that. I could still use the rose blossom mist and the antioxidant facial oil, and that was about it. But what I wanted to do was address the hormonal changes in the skin. So that was when I started to look at adaptogens and incorporating those into the skincare products.
I was muted. I'm so sorry. So let's dive into those. There are 3 skincare products that are part of this collection. We launched them at Beauty Heroes exclusively, I think February 17th, just a week ago, and we sold out of 2 of them already. So they're on pre-order on our site. We actually have a gift with purchase for everybody on the Masterclass today, if you're interested. But regardless of whether you're really interested in Mukti's products, I think you're going to learn something about ingredients and about, you know, like the cleansing balm. You chose in the line to make a balm. I'm going to show you. This is mine from home. This is a jelly balm cleanser, and it smells really incredible, but it doesn't have any essential oils in it. It smells different than any other green beauty product I've ever tried. It's got this very clean, sort of quiet, you know, scent to it. It's not really like, it doesn't bowl you over with like a lot of these beautiful balms, which I love. It's more simple, but it's really still, you can tell it's a really special product. So you are talking about these emollient properties. So you wanted it. Why don't you talk about how you decided you landed on this formula?
Yeah, so this is a lovely sugar-based glucoside. So it's really gentle. It doesn't strip the skin. We've pH balanced it as well. And then you've got beautiful oils, baobab and chia seed and argan in there. And it works well as a double cleanse process as well. So the way that it works is you only need to use like a really small amount to cover your whole face. I'd say about that much is plenty to cover your whole face, and then you can just spot it onto the face and then massage it in, and then add a little bit of water that and then create a milky emulsion and then wash that off. So what I like about it is that it leaves just a little bit of hydration in the skin. It doesn't completely strip it bare. And you can use it on its own. It will take off makeup. It'll take off dirt. It'll take off it'll take sunscreen, and then cleansing is just that first essential step that we need to do, but you don't want to interfere with that, with the skin microbiome, and strip it with really harsh surfactants. So that was the impetus between making the balm. And I just like the way that you can use it and massage it into the skin as well. It is a different product in that regard. And I love the fact that you only need to use a small amount. I'm amazed at how long a jar lasts, because you kind of look at it and think it's a small jar, but that you could probably get at least 3 to 4 months out of that. If you're using, you know, just a small amount, a little bit goes a long way. I think that's the case with a lot of the products that I formulate. I like to put a lot of I like to pack them full of as much as I can so that you do get bang for your buck. And I think that's just a really nice balm to use in conjunction with the other cleansers. If you already use one, you can use that as part of that double cleanse process. So I'd use the calming cleansing balm first, and then use the hydrating if your skin's more prone to dryness. And then you can use the balancing cleansing gel if your skin's more prone to oily combination skin. But the thing is with cleansers is a lot of them have a really high pH. They're very alkaline, and then they do disrupt the skin, and you can be a bit overzealous with the cleaning. So if you do that, you really want to look for pH balanced cleansers as well.
Lisa's asking if you can use it on the eyes and to remove eye makeup.
You can. It does have a little bit of an oily film on it, so I would only use a tiny bit, and I'd probably just emulsify it a little bit in sort of on your hand first, and then gently apply it to the eye, maybe with an eye pad, and then just that will help remove your eye makeup. But it definitely will. It just can leave a little bit of a film on the eyelashes. So just use a small amount.
Great. And then for a toner, we were chatting about this and you said that the toner that you use right now is the Rose Blossom Toning Mist.
Yeah, so I like to call it more of a hydrating mist. We used to call it I used to call it a toner, but it the lovely thing about I've got the professional size here, so it's a big bottle.
Of course you do. You're Mukti.
Yeah, I always use R&D samples mainly. I always feel when I get products off the shelf. Yes, so this one is great to use throughout the day. I'm actually going to use it now because it's really quite hot here. Beautiful rose hydrosol. It's got the aloe vera base in there. And then the other thing that I put in all the products are the native Australian extracts. So this one has got kakadu plum and another extract called snowflower. And it's also got kangaroo
paw, right?
Kangaroo paw flower in there as well. So it also very exotic, which it is, because the native extracts, and I think that was one of the questions you were going to ask me, was we were one of the first brands back in 2013 to start incorporating them into our products, and I really noticed a difference as soon as I put them into the products with the efficacy of the products and the results that people were getting. So they are quite amazing, but we'll circle back to talk about that. So the hydrating mist is a beautiful second step in any of your routines. So you cleanse, then you spritz, and then you add your moisture after that. So then you could start with your serum as a layering effect. So in this range, we've got the Rescue and Recover Serum. And again, that's got your native extracts in it. It's got the same kakadu plum, kangaroo paw flower, flannel, centopedia. So what that's got in it, it's very soothing and calming, but it's also got the antioxidant profile in there as well. And
I can like drink the serum. My skin just like loves it. It's so light. It's very actually, let me see if I can show it, because there's a good picture on our website. It's very, very, very light. And so this is my favorite consistency for serums. And it smells amazing too. I can already smell it. And it's got, I don't know, it just smells like a good, healthy meal, like, plant-based meal. Like,
it is.
Yeah.
The fragrance profile in that is just from the ingredients in the product. So there's no additional essential oils in this range for that purpose, because sensitized skin, reactive skin really doesn't respond well to essential oils. Generally, it doesn't respond well to essential oils. So that was one of the things that is very different about this range, is that they are fragrance-free, completely fragrance-free. So the profiles are all very pleasant, but there's no additional fragrance in there.
Yeah, but it still smells amazing. So it's just the beautiful plant extracts that kind of combine to make this really clean scent. I just wanted to mention, since this is not officially part of the Calming collection, but it's kind of the hydrator that you're using in conjunction with it, where we did a little gift with purchase, if you're interested in the products that we're talking about today, and you buy any two of them, you can get this as a gift. The Thank You Mukti. We've got a limited supply of them, but you enter the code MuktiCalm, and it's just for this class. So it's just for all of you here. And if we're out of a couple of the products, we sold out so fast, they're on pre-order. So we're getting them in soon, and we'll ship out your order with the gift as soon as it's in. But we wanted to give you a little something and this is actually valued at $54. So it's a really nice gift. Thank you for giving that to everybody on the class.
It's just one of those additional products that it's just beautiful to use throughout the day to uplift the skin. You can also use it to set makeup as well, and just to hydrate the face, and then it helps with spreading and absorption of your moisturizers that you're going to, or serums that you're going to use on top of that. So you can just press them gently onto the face after you spritz with the rose blossom mist. So it's just a good.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little detour. So Hyaluronic Marine Serum, that is actually a pretty neutral product. It was our first hero product at Beauty Heroes with Mukti, and you had just come out with it. So you sort of said that you can add a little hyaluronic acid to your routine if you want a little more hydration. So can you talk a little bit about that? And can you talk a little bit about the Dermal Roller? Because you launched that just a few months ago, or I don't know how long ago, but we launched it just a few months ago. We have your Dermal Roller at Beauty Heroes. And I've heard people who've tried many of them, and they said that the Mukti one is is like the bomb. So can you talk about those two, since we're on serums and that kind of goes together?
Yes, so the Hyaluronic Marine Serum it's got wakame seaweed in it, and then it's got blue tansy in there as well, and then it's got your vegan hyaluronic acid in there. So what that does is it adds hydration to the skin, and you'll notice that hyaluronic acid is in quite a few of the other moisturizers as well, but this is purely the HA. We call it the marine serum, hyaluronic marine serum, because of the wakame seaweed in there as well. So that works on UV protection as well as hydration. So it's a double whammy. And then the blue tansy has chamazulene in there, so that's very calming and soothing for the skin as well. With any of the serums and moisturizers, you can use them in a layering effect. So say, for example, if I was a little bit dehydrated, I would spritz first and then add the marine serum to that. I don't have any on hand. And then you just use a tiny amount, probably a little bit bigger than the size of a match head. And then you can just spread that onto the skin and press it onto the face, neck and décolletage. And then you can follow that with your other serums, be they the vitamins or the Age Defiance Serum or the new Rescue and Recover Serum as well. And what was the other? Oh, the Dermal Roller. So the Dermal Roller is, it's a tool it's a home device that you can use to help with product penetration, and it creates very fine, small micro channels on the surface of the skin. So the way to use it is you cover your whole face with a Union Jack pattern. You can put the serum on first and then dermal roll onto the face. So you want to create covering all the areas of the face in a Union Jack pattern, and then that will just help with product absorption and penetration. And it's good to use it a couple of, once or twice a week. And I think we have a new one actually, Jeannie, that we've just launched. It's a 0.3 millimeter, and they're small titanium alloy needles, and it's a very simple procedure. It doesn't hurt, doesn't create any pain, might create a slight little bit of flushing on the skin for a delivery mechanism, and just improving the effects of the serums and the active ingredients that it helps them to target and just deliver into that deeper dermal layer.
So are you going to have 2 derma rollers available? Like the current one is 0.25 or
Correct.
0.25?
Yeah, we've just launched another one, which is just a little bit, it's a little bit deeper. So it's a 0.3. Yeah.
So more low. So, okay. So how often are you, you're derma rolling? Once or twice a week yourself?
Yeah, so once or twice a week. Some people do it every day. It can become a little bit addictive. It's almost like a massage. It doesn't hurt. And you can do it, just see how your skin responds, really. I always think, again, start slowly, introduce gradually, and then you can build up as you go along. And then, some people love to use it, as I said, 2 or 3 times a week, or some people use it daily. It just depends on if you make it part of that evening routine. You can do that as well. Yeah.
I see a few local people on this call, Jenny and Teresa. Hi, ladies. I recognize your names, and probably some other locals. We just launched, we used to have this flight bar. Well, we still have the flight bar in the Beauty Hero store, where we had this interactive experience where we would create flights of beauty, and through COVID, we're not encouraging people to sit down and, kind of use testers and stuff. So we closed the flight bar, but we decided to open a toolbar instead. So we put all of our beauty tools out there so you can see them and take a look at them. And we have the Mukti Dermal Roller there. So if you come into the store, Irit, our store manager, is actually on the call too. She's very familiar with derma rolling, and you can talk to her about it, and we'll add the 0.3 millimeter tool to our toolbar until it becomes the flight bar again, which is cool. All right, so let's, I also want to hear I'd love to see in the chat box, just for fun, if you do use a derma roller, and if you like it, and let us know if you'd ever like Mukti to do a class on derma rolling, since she's got 2 tools. That's kind of, seems like a specialty. But let's dive into the third product. It's the Calming Moisturizer. It's super light and refreshing. And tell us about this product.
Yeah, this product went through a few iterations. The first one was quite a thick emollient. I don't know whether any of you have used the Marigold hydrating cream before, but that's one of our hero products. It's really thick. It's good for redness, rosacea, eczema, any sort of dry skin conditions. And then the first iteration of the Calming Moisture was really thick and heavy, and I didn't like it. And so I went back to square one and created more of a lighter emollient. So what's different about this one is I used the rose hydrosol in the base. So it's just a nice light moisturizer. And it's got that beautiful rose smell, just gently, a gentle fragrance, so it's not overpowering. And again, I put key ingredients in this. So I've used Kakadu plum as well. It's got a little bit of hyaluronic acid in there. One of the things that you want to do when you have dermal barrier impairment or sensitive skin is really keep the skin very well hydrated, because you want to just protect your skin as much as possible. It's got shea butter in there, so that's very hydrating and emollient. And then I've also included rosehip oil, which is it's one of those essential fatty acids that's been around forever and has a lot of studies that have been, but it's a really beautiful ingredient to incorporate in just about all skincare. And then it's got coenzyme Q10 in there as well, and vitamin E. So it's just a holistic. It's a simple formula, but it's got everything in there that you need just to soothe and calm the skin as well as hydrate it, and that just seals the moisture and locks the moisture in as well.
Yeah, so one of the things when we were talking about this line, you sort of were you were really dealing with the skin upset that you described earlier, and you were saying this is sort of like having a really bland diet for the skin, but it doesn't feel bland. That's kind of the cool thing about it that I really like, is like, I want my skincare to feel like it's doing something. I don't want it to be too plain, because that's a little boring. My routine, you know, the ritual is really important, the smells, the feel, all of it. You still want to kind of have that luxurious feel. So can you talk a little bit about that, kind of having this bland diet, but you have all these really beautiful ingredients in it?
Yes, it doesn't. It's actually, it's my favorite moisturizer. I love I'm a big fan of just that beautiful rose hydrosol base. And what's happened over the years, because I've been formulating for about nearly a quarter of a century now, so I'm really showing my age. But one of the things that I love about this is that it's got that rose base, so it's very soothing and calming. And then I also I tend to use aloe vera in a base with a lot of certified organic ingredients. But I think it's just paring it back and simplifying the products. But I've also included native extracts in there as well. So you've got your Kakadu plum from your vitamin C, which has got the vitamin C content in there. The Davidson plum as well, and another key native ingredient called quandong is in there. So whilst it hasn't got all those other sort of actives that I would normally put in a moisturizer, it just is a good soothing, calming product. Yeah. And then using the serum in conjunction with that just works really synergistically together.
Yeah. We have a few questions here, and I really want to dive in deeper into the Bioactive Collagen Booster. There's some questions about that, but let's talk briefly about what you're using around your eyes, because you didn't make an eye product with this collection, and you've got a couple of eye products, and so tell us, like that wrinkles will, we're aging anyway. So like, regardless of whether you're going through perimenopause and menopause and you're getting, sort of less oil and estrogen and all of those things, we're just getting older, right? So wrinkles are going to be more apparent. It's just sort of natural and beautiful. And I never thought wrinkles were that big of a deal. I never thought cellulite was that big of a deal. I don't know why. I never understood that. I was like, who cares?
Yeah.
But I definitely, believe in like taking good care of your body and your skin. I just don't freak out when I see it. Like, oh my gosh, I need to get into like, I need to fix it. I want to do my best with it, but I'm just not that vain.
Good. I think it's good not to be that vain, because at the end of the day, it's everything's impermanent, isn't it? And it's really the impact that you leave with people, or the way that you are in the presence of people, that's more important, I think. There's way too much emphasis on the visual, but in saying that, I am a little bit vain.
Yeah, we all are, of course. No, I mean, I am. I just, I wouldn't go. I think I get insecure. Rather than wanting to fix it, I'll maybe hide more, actually. Like, I'm not gonna, I wouldn't probably get a facelift. I'd probably just not show up as much or something.
Jenny will all know now.
Somebody's saying one of our class members is saying they want eye help, that the eye cream is thick and doesn't seem to go in. And you have an eye gel also.
Have you, which eye product? We've got two. We've got the rose hip eye gel, which was the first eye product that I made. And then in about 2014, I released the Age Defiance Eye Serum, and that one has got all your peptides and your key actives in there. So it's got cereulacine and isorel. It's absolutely packed full of ingredients that are specific and in really potent amounts. So if you really want an eye product that is going to deliver results, that's the product to use. And I've been able to continue to use that product. The skin around the eyes is thinner as well as on the back of our hands. So they're the two places that you'll start to see the effects of aging first. And so with eye products, the other thing is with the eye serum, you only need to use the size of a grain of rice, and then you just press it. Best way to put an eye product on as well is just to press it onto the ring finger, because there's not a lot of pressure there. And you don't ever want to drag the skin. So it's just a nice gentle pressing action around the eye area. And that way you're also just helping with the lymphatic as well. And just a gentle tapping motion. It's quite relaxing, and you can carry that onto the orbital area of the eye as well. We carry a lot of stress and strain around our eyes. We use it for, dynamic expressions. So eventually, as we age, those dynamic expressions become indelibly imprinted onto our face, and that's what you start to see with those fine lines. But I've found that the eye serum is really, it's probably one of our best-selling products. It is one of our best-selling products, and we do get really good results with that, especially when people take before and after photos. I remember when I was testing it and had a few friends trying it, and they did the before and after photos, and I actually thought that they'd doctored them, because the results were incredible. I was actually really shocked and surprised, and that was the first time I started playing around with peptides in my formulations, and I could really see the results in I think it was a 6-week trial that we did, and there was a real change in the fine lines around the eyes. I think on our website you can see some of the before and afters.
Before and after.
Yeah.
I feel like you talk a bit about peptides in your book, and I think the thing about peptides for me is like there's so many of them that it gets a little confusing. They're not really well understood. And so, but I will say that the age defiance, the person who was asking said they're using the age defiance, and you may be using a little bit too much. I am very finicky when it comes to eye products because I wear concealer. I don't like anything to crease, and I like it to be really light, and it's sort of this really great light. It's called a serum, but it really feels like this super light cream, and it's my hero product. The Age Defiance, I have both of them and I love them both, but the Age Defiance I would say is my hero product.
So this is how much you need to use. I'm just going to use the Rescue and Recover. It's a little bit lighter than the eye serum, but for both your eyes, it's literally probably just about the size of a grain of rice. It's just, it's thicker than this. So it's got shea butter in there as well. So that's it. That's as much as you want to use, and then just press it gently around the eye area. You don't need to use any more than that. So that little bottle should last you quite a while if you're using it morning and night, and it's fine. It should be okay to use under makeup as well. I think
I find it to be, like I said, I'm super picky when it comes to eye products, being able to wear them under makeup. So it's a great product for that, for me. One
of the little hacks that because in a past life I was also a makeup artist, but one of the little hacks that I do is I actually avoid putting any foundation on under the eye area, and I just use a concealer, and I just spot treat my face rather than blanketing my face in a foundation. And I find that really helps, because what happens is the makeup starts to gather in the creases, and it can actually exacerbate or make you look more lined than you actually are. So the other trick that I do is I'll get a cotton pad, and I'll put a little bit of the antioxidant facial oil. I'll dampen it. I put a few drops of the antioxidant facial oil on, and then just gently press that under the eye area so that the foundation doesn't gather in the lines around the eye area. That's just another little hack that you can.
Definitely, I've not heard that tip before.
Oil sort of helps your skin glow, plus it's very nourishing, and it's got all the CO2 extracts in there as well. So you've got your antioxidant protection around the eyes. So I actually sometimes use the antioxidant facial oil to remove eye makeup. on a damp cotton ball, because then the residue stays on the skin as well. That's another little.
I love that. That's such a good tip. Well, I feel like we have a lot of questions about collagen. So somebody asked this great question, Jenny. I think Jenny, you asked that. Does it really turn from collagen you ingest into the collagen into the skin? Like, how does that magically happen?
Well, it replenishes the lost collagen. So you're going to have to constantly keep topping up your collagen supply. So it's not going to, it'll just help with the aging process. It's not going to stop that from diminishing, but 2.5 grams a day is what they did all the studies on, to replenish the collagen that you lose in a day. So that's basically where that comes from. And then that helps. The results that you'll get is a boost in hydration and retaining the moisture content in the skin, and then an improvement in the elasticity as well. And it can increase the collagen content in the dermis of the skin. There are some studies that you can find on PubMed, I believe, with the marine collagen. And it can help to strengthen and fortify your hair, skin and nails as well. So there's been some good studies on the marine collagen, which is why I incorporated it into this product. And it's small enough to,
like, holistic benefits. You're gonna see it in your skin. There's gut health benefits with the collagen. One thing I think not everybody understands. I think some people do. It's definitely been talked a little bit about more, but this whole concept of vegan collagen, right? There's ingredients that support collagen production that are vegan, but it's not the same as animal-based collagen. So there's a huge difference.
You can't replenish the lost collagen unfortunately, with a plant-based form of collagen. It will help stimulate collagen production, but you're not going to actually replenish and replace the lost collagen. So what happens with this marine collagen is that it's hydrolyzed, so it's small enough to enter into, it helps the fibroblasts produce more collagen, and it stimulates. Fibroblasts are found in the connective tissue. We have mostly type 1 collagen in the skin, and that's what the marine collagen is as well. So it's type 1. And that's one of the most abundant substances in our bodies as well. And circling back on that, then you've got your amino acids in there, and that's what the peptides are. Just coming back to your previous comment about, so they're the amino acids as well. So that's the topical benefit of those. And then it's, because of the particle size, it's bioavailable. So it will hit the gut, and then it can be ingested, and then it will then have that effect on the whole body. Joints, hair. So my hair also started really thinning out, and I've noticed by taking it every day regularly I've probably been taking it for at least probably a couple of years now, when I started doing all the R&D for it. But you can see it's thickened up. I used to have incredibly thick hair. It's not as thick as it used to be, but it's definitely helped with, my hair actually stopped growing as well. And that's another side effect of aging, unfortunately, is you do lose your hair, your thickness and the length and the strength of the hair. I haven't got any split ends either. It's the healthiest it's actually been. And I still get a few little foils and things put through it. So definitely great for hair. Nails as well. It helps strengthen the nails. And what else? Gut health as well, which is soothing and calming. Whenever I've had any gut issues, I just make sure that I have my daily dose of this. Sometimes I'll have it twice a day, but what's in there?
Just to ask you, do you have it twice a day or once a day? You said just once a day. This jar, it comes with this beautiful spoon, the Mukti spoon, and you buy the jar once, and then you can buy the refill. So that it comes in a pouch that you can just refill and keep it, and you get the spoon when you buy the jar. But you suggest just once a day, and this should last for a month, right?
that's the dosage. That's the recommended dosage. You can have more that's not going to harm you in any way. Yeah, the 2.5 grams is the daily dose in the collagen. All the other supporting ingredients are in the recommended dosage that you need for the daily amount. So your hyaluronic, your resveratrol, astaxanthin, they're all based on the evidence-based ingredients in the studies that were done, and they're in there at that amount, which why it makes it more of a superior product as well, and why it's a little bit more expensive than just a marine collagen with a little bit of flavor or coloring added to it. What was I going to say?
It's not inexpensive. So can you just talk about that? It's not, it's, you know, it's an expensive supplement.
It is an expensive supplement if you compare it to others, but if you take just the collagen by itself and you just add a little bit of flavoring to it, then that's what a lot of the other collagens in the market have. Whereas this is just full of ingredients. It's got your marine collagen at that amount, then Jerusalem artichoke, which is the prebiotic, which helps good bacteria in the gut. Then you've got your wild berry super antioxidants in there. There's at least, we've got a blend of them. There's at least half a dozen of those. Then you've also got your hyaluronic acid. Then you've got Kakadu plum as well as Davidson plum. So that's a native extract form of vitamin C. What was the other? Resveratrol and astaxanthin, which is the red algae, which is for UV protection. And then the aloe vera base in there as well, which is very soothing and calming. So I because I'm not answerable to anyone, I usually like to make really expensive products. If I was being employed and formulating for someone, I probably would have been sacked a long time ago. But because I can, I put everything in there at optimal amounts and the amounts that they've been tested at, and evidence-based amounts. So yes, that's why
you said this is like the most expensive cost of any product you've ever made.
The marine collagen. I think there's the other one is the body oil, which is a luxurious body oil, the Bioactive body elixir. And then I'm in the process at the moment of making an age defiance body serum for the body, which I'm packed it full of very expensive ingredients, because the other thing is, you know, the skin doesn't stop here from the décolletage down. So I've made another really beautiful body care product, which I'm hoping to have launched later this year, probably about Q3, I think, at this stage. So keep an eye out for that as well. But some of those active ingredients and those the really robust science-based, evidence-based ingredients are quite expensive, and I always use them at or slightly above the recommended amount. I did want to comment, though, just while we're talking about the collagen booster, when you are making it, if you've already got some, and the best way to use it is like a clay mask. So put a little bit of water in the bottom of the jar first, and then add your powder, let it seep into the water that's in the bottom of the jar, and then slowly agitate and mix that into a slurry, and then gradually add your water, and then it'll dissolve really nicely. You won't have too much sediment. That's been sitting there for a little while, and then I make mine earlier today because it's midday here at the moment, and then I just added, I put it in the fridge, and it was nice and icy cold, but it has a delicious berry flavour. It's very palatable. It doesn't taste like medicine. It's actually a really lovely drink.
Yeah, it tastes really good. We sampled it through all of January, every order in the store and online, and through most of February till we ran out. Every order got the Bioactive collagen booster to sample, and so we really wanted to get the word out. We really wanted people to taste it and to experience it, and to, you know, I think that's a big thing. If it tastes good, you'll drink it. And so it tastes really, really good. So great job. We have 2 more questions. And if you have any final questions, we're going to wrap up in just a couple minutes. So I just want to make sure we get everything that we can. And then maybe we'll do a follow-up class with Mukti on dermal rolling. But One question was, is it better to ingest collagen than buy topical products that claim to boost collagen production and focus more on antioxidant and retinol products?
That's a good question. So collagen topically applied, I think that was the first part of the question. The molecules, the science behind that is that the molecules are too large to penetrate the skin. So the best way to get collagen and replenish and replace it is by ingesting it. So that's the answer to that. And then, of course, antioxidants are going to help with the aging process and protection from free radical damage. And I think a really good way to look at oxidants and how they work is by looking at an apple. When you cut an apple, and then you can see the discoloration happen in a really short period of time. So that's basically what is happening to us every day. We are fighting against pollution. We're fighting against the sun. We're fighting against all these free radicals. So the best way to do it is to fortify topically with antioxidants. And I use a lot of antioxidants in all the formulations, and I specifically use them in bioavailable, bioactive CO2 extracts. So they're a little bit more expensive. The way to tell if there's a lot of antioxidants in your product is by the color. So you want to see a beautiful orangey yellow color, and that's the carotenoids and the polyphenols that are in the product, and that will have that really beautiful color in there. You'll notice that with our Marigold hydrating cream, it's a really bright yellow, and that's because of the CO2 extracts. They're super rich and super potent. I think there was one more part of that question I think I missed. Sorry, Jeannie.
Is it better to just focus then on more antioxidant and retinol products in your products than collagen boosting?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all of them. And then with your retinoids, we have a vitamin A, and we use the HPR, which is the hydroxypinoculane retinate, which is a less sensitizing form of A. It's a lot gentler, but it also has a lot of carotenoids and skin protection ingredients in there, and a lot of natural forms of vitamin A in there as well. So that's a really good A product to use at nighttime, and it's not sensitizing as your traditional retinols or retinoic acids would be.
If somebody, thank you, Jill, for reminding me, if somebody is prone to kidney stones, and do you even know that answer? I don't want to give anybody advice without, sort of being confident about it. But kidney stones and collagen, can collagen, if you're prone to kidney stones, be a problem?
I am really not sure. It's an interesting question. I'm not sure what the basis of that was, but I can't see that it would be, but I would definitely check with your naturopath or medical practitioner and probably address that question to them. I'm not really in a position to be able to answer that thoroughly.
Yeah, that's a little out of the scope of the class, but good question, and definitely something to look into. So one more question we have, if you have hormonal rosacea, what cleanser do you recommend? The Calming Collection cleanser or hydrating cleanser?
Yeah, you could use either. I tend to use both the hydrating cleansing lotion, and I don't have a problem with that. And then I intermix the two, and I use the calming cleansing balm as well. If I've got sunscreen and makeup on, then I'll tend to use that first, and then I'll follow with the hydrating cleansing lotion. I love the hydrating cleansing lotion. It's one of my favorite ones. And we're just in the process of upgrading that formulation as well. So either one. It's really just a personal preference. But if you haven't tried the calming cleansing balm, then I think you'll really love that as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if you've got hormonal rosacea, I think that's a good one. Somebody was just asking what product you were talking about with the retinol, and that is the Vital A elixir. And I will just say, those the Vital A, C, and B elixirs. I've really gotten into the Vital B elixir with the niacinamide. That's been really great for my skin. But the Vital A is the one that she was talking about with the retinol.
Yeah, so we've got the A, B, and C, and then they can be used in conjunction. If aging is what you're concerned about, they can be used in conjunction with the Age Defiance day and night serum. So for daytime, you would use the C, and that's pretty good for most skin types, or the B if you've got dermal impairment and you want to hydrate your skin. If you're worried about sun damage and pigmentation, then the C. I'm just upgrading the Vital C at the moment. That's going to have licorice root extract added to it and another form of seaweed added to it. So that will have even more potent whitening properties for the skin. And then the B is pretty much for all skin types. And then it's also good for acne as well. And then your A is good at nighttime. And then that can be used in conjunction in a layering effect with the Age Defiance night serum. And the night serum's got Chroma Bright in there, so that's lightening, brightening, and it's also got gentle exfoliants in there as well. And remembering all of the native extracts that we use have all got amazing antioxidant properties and alpha hydroxy acids, and they've got their own vitamins and minerals. They're grown in very harsh environments. If any of you have ever traveled to Australia, it's quite a dry continent in the center of Australia, and it's quite arid. So all of these phytonutrients that are in the plants and the way that they're cellularly extracted keeps them in their pristine state, and then they go into the products as well. So all the products are really bioactive, and they've got those really potent phytonutrients in them, and that's why you'll get good results with them.
Yes, and they are Australian native extracts, so they're really. Do you want to go into a little bit about how they're extracted, like why that is so special?
Yes, there's a cellular extraction process that we use with them, and then the molecules, they stay as they were in nature because of the extraction process that we use. And we were one of the first Australian brands, actually we were the first brand I think to start incorporating native extracts, and that was back in 2013. I saw the benefits of them when I started doing some test results, and I started adding them to just the base products that I had, and we had such incredible results with them. That's why I adapted really quickly and early to them. So the material is left in the same state that it's in as when it leaves the plant because of the way that it's extracted. And so the phytochemicals stay, the auric capacity, when you measure them, the vitamins are really high and potent, and their antioxidant bioavailability is really readily available as well. I mean, I'm just looking at some studies here. I've got one here where it says that Kakadu plum has 6 times the amount of vitamin C than a blueberry has. And the other one was Kwandong, which has another really high auric capacity at 1.9-fold higher. Yeah, so incredible antioxidants and phenolic activity in both of those particular ingredients that I use in most of the Age Defiance range as well. But we use all of them throughout the range. All of the products have their own little unique synergy that depends on what skin concern or skin condition it's addressing. So it just really depends on the formulation.
Thank you so much for that. I think you can really sense the native extracts in the formulas. It's one of the things that I love about your formulas. They're all really just, our whole team is using Mukti, and it's so great having the store because we can really talk to our customers in person. And they buy something from us and they come back and they tell us, and it's just different. Beauty Heroes was online for so long, so it's been so fun to be able to get feedback like face to face from people, and they come back and they buy Mukti. They'll try one thing and then they'll slowly discover and find their hero products, and that's what Beauty Heroes is really all about. We really are about educating about these products and, you know, helping you find what really works for you, what's in your price point, what's in your, you know, the way that you want to have, you know, skincare be a part of your life, and just teach you all the things that I get to learn. So thank you so much for being our master today. We do have a gift with purchase for, if you do want to buy any of the products in the Mukti Calming collection. The Rose Blossom Hydrating Mist, 100 ml, it's $54. You can enter the code Mukti Calm at checkout. When you purchase any of the 2 products, then you'll get this as a gift with purchase. It's what Mukti kind of recommends as her hydrating mist with her skin right now. And so she sent us a few of these. So they're not going to be around forever. They're definitely going to sell out soon. So thank you so much, Mukti, for joining us all the way from Byron Bay, Australia. Thank you everyone for tuning in to our community. We really appreciate you, and I hope you got something out of it, and we look forward to the next one.
Thank you, Jeannie. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Sending you lots of love and light and sunshine from Australia's East Coast.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.